Blog Talk Radio. Live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, it's EKB TV Live with your host, Dr. Bernard Alvarez. Empowering the human experience.
Hello and welcome to EKB TV Live. I am Dr. Bernard Alvarez with my co-host, my new co-host. Let's welcome Dr. Raina Redhawk. Hi, Raina.
Hi, Bernard. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Real good. It's a balmy 83 here.
Oh, great. Yeah, we're about 78 and a little breezy. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is our show here on blogtalkradio.com/EKBTV. Today's show is going to be about something that everyone's been speaking of and looking into and reading, and we've been seeing a lot of stuff in the media lately, especially with Oprah and Eckhart Tolle with their new classes now on Monday nights, and that's the law of attraction. You've seen it on The Secret. You see it on What the Bleep Do We Know with Marlee Matlin, who happens to be on Dancing with the Stars, I'm very excited to say. Anyway, joining us, a nice special guest is here with us today to talk about this, and that's spiritual life coach Anabel Montalbano. Hi, Anabel. How are you?
I'm great, Bernard. Thank you so much for having me on. I was very excited to receive your email and very honored to be on with you. I really highly admire you and what you're doing, so thank you.
Oh, thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you. So let's start right away. Let's jump right into our discussion here. Let's talk a little bit about what the law of attraction is for our listeners. And for our listeners, you can call us anytime at 347-327-9997. Just hold on, and we'll add you into the discussion in about 10 minutes. If you have a question, feel free to put it on our chat, which is right there on our Blog Talk radio station page. Now, a little history of the law of attraction. Raina, do you want to tell us a little bit about that, or who would like to share that with us?
Yeah, I can jump in there, Bernard. If,
okay.
The law of attraction mainly is your thoughts become reality. This means that all your thoughts, all images in your mind, and all feelings connected to your thoughts will manifest your reality. In other words, everything you have in your life now has been attracted to you through your mind. And this means that both the things that you are happy with and those that you are not. It's your own creation. Most importantly, it means you can, from now on, create your life consciously, and you can start attracting only those circumstances that creates happiness for you and leave out those circumstances you do not desire. The law of attraction is, I think, one of the most important laws in the universe.
And as far as personally speaking, it's funny how they say, a good example is like on The Secret, where it talks about how it's been hidden for all these years. And I wanted to make it clear, make a point for our listeners and for everybody out there, is that what I'm doing here, what we are doing here as a collaborative of people with the Global Illumination Council is exactly that, sharing this knowledge. And a lot of this knowledge has been hidden by not hidden, I say, but hasn't been out in the forefront. And I'm very grateful that we're at a place now in our global consciousness where people are starting to listen to some of this new thought. And it's not a new thought. That's the funny thing. Annabelle, want to tell us a little bit about the law of attraction, how you define it and what it means to you, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that you hit it right on the nose, and Raina, you had a very wonderful explanation of the law of attraction as being a major universal law. I think that one of the things that The Secret brought out, which was very key into the progress of, I think, humanity in the next few years, is that it brought to light something that most people did not consciously think about. And I think that with The Secret, the whole key with that particular movement, with particularly the movie, which holds such deep emotion if you watch it, is that people were not consciously thinking about this. The secret came out because the producer, Rhonda Burns, went through a traumatic experience that opened her up to receiving information. It came through from her daughter, and what she found was, in effect, new to her. So becoming so excited and deep with joyful emotion, she brought this out. And what's great about it is that it allowed the viewer, anyone who had connection to Internet, because they did some really amazing Internet marketing to have this movie come through, allowed them to see different perspectives. So they did a really great job in having spiritual advisors, metaphysicists, philosophers, all these kinds of people together. And what most people, I hope, grasped from it was that this was just the beginning. The law of attraction brought this to them because they were seeking something. It brought them messages in through the secret. Now it was their job to take that and run with it. What were they going to do with this? And one of the greatest examples, I think, for myself that really brought that to light was that I really resonated with Esther Hicks. Now, I've been studying theological philosophy for many, many years, and that is a very big interest of mine. So I didn't know who Esther Hicks was, and the only reason that she appealed to me was because her voice was so soothing, and she really seemed to have it going on. I also noticed that she had a book listed under her called Abraham, author of Abraham. So I thought, you know what? I haven't really read a book about someone's perspective on Abraham, thinking that he was the biblical Abraham. And I thought, I'm going to go look her up. Now, I saw the movie on a Saturday. That following next day was Sunday. I went to a bookstore, and they didn't have anything on Esther Hicks. So they had some daily guidance cards, so I ordered them. And really didn't think anything of it, but was looking forward to seeing it. The next day was Monday, and I was in my then business. I used to own a fitness club. And one of my club members came up to me and said, Anabel, I don't know why, but I was at a bookstore yesterday, and something told me to buy you this book. And the book was Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. So if that's not talking about the law of attraction snapping its fingers and bringing it to light, I don't know what was. And that began my research.
That is exactly what it is all about.
Yeah, just putting it out there to the universe and not giving it, just releasing it, not giving it too much thought so that it has a moment to manifest itself.
Right. I'm sorry, Raina, were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying that's amazing because that's exactly what happens. And people have to just put it out there and put it out in such a good way that it does come back to you. I have had people come to me and say, well, it doesn't work. I said, have you gotten rid of all your negative thoughts?
Right.
That's right. Otherwise, the universe is not going to accept this from you. I mean, you've got to get rid of your ego and all your delusions and illusions about things, and it will work. And I have a member of my own family that is struggling with this, and this person, first of all, needs to throw ego out, and that's one of his main problems.
Yeah, I think if I can, Bernard and Raina, I think, the keynote here is throwing out ego, and I think that that's what so many people have such a hard time with because they have a hard time identifying what the ego actually is. And by accepting what ego is, it forces them to realize that they are indeed two entities in one. Ego is separate from our true selves, and people have a hard time with that. And one of the things that has been very helpful to me is really studying A Course in Miracles, because A Course in Miracles really helps you to focus on letting you know that ego has to walk out the door in order for you to concentrate on your true self, on that person that you truly, truly are. And it's one with your source, with your creator. And as, the Bible says, we were created in the image of God, and He is a creator. And what does that make us? Creators in ourselves. And that's where we have to start, accepting our role there as creators in our own lives.
It's a wonderful thing that you're bringing that up, and especially in the timing that you're bringing it up. Not even that you, that the universe is bringing it up, which it always seems to be. Is a good example of I guess the law of synchronicity would be a great choice. And one of my favorite scenes from any movie is the garden. I guess you can call it the garden scene from the Celestine Prophecy movie, where the gentleman is talking to this woman on a